Hey, Shalom, Israel, Most High Christ blessed. This is Captain Ezra.
This is Officer Jeremiah.
And this is 15 minutes with the captains. And I just want to go over a quick subject with you right quick, just to put your mind in the place where you can understand what I'm trying to go through. I want you to see something. The name of this is going to be called Men of Honor, because we all go through a lot of things in our walk, especially once we walk into the doors of the school and we get to learning who we are and we starting to try to apply the laws. We start going through stuff. But I want us to keep it in the proper perspective when we go through stuff, because a lot of times we get into that spirit of, woe is me. Oh, it's so bad. Look at all the stuff that I'm going through, instead of looking at it for what it really is. So let's examine. Let's go to the book of James, and I want to start in chapter 1, and I want verse 2.
This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations.
He said, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptation. I don't know if we do that. I don't know if we count it all joy. I don't know when your car breaks down on the side of the road, do you be like, yes, all praises to the Most High. Oh, my tire blown out. Oh, somebody stole my car. All praises to the Father. I don't know if we do that, but we should do that. Read that again. What did it say?
My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations.
When you come home from work and you find that it looked like another man been in your bed, all praises. Yes, all praises. But we don't see it that way. But this is the thing. We're going to see if we should. We're going to see if we should see things in this way. And I know that's difficult. I know that's not an easy thing. But let's look at the definition of diverse. When it says diverse, what is it talking about?
Diverse, of varying types, several, in diverse places.
So you're going to go through various types of temptations. You're not just going to get one thing. Oh, I just have financial trouble.
Right.
No. You're going to go through various types of temptations and afflictions. Let's look at the synonyms real quick. Let's read those.
These are the synonyms for diverse: several, many, numerous, a number of, multiple, manifold, multifarious, sundry, miscellaneous, assorted, various, a variety of.
A variety of. It's like you got you what's a variety pack, like with potato chips, and they got all different kinds in there. They got some Cheetos in there. They got some Ruffles in there. You got some regular Lay's in there. That's what you're getting with your diverse temptations. You're gonna get a little bit of everything. You're gonna get a trail mix of temptations. But it was another thing that it said up there. It says many. I like that word too, many. Then you know, you're not going to get one. You're not going to get a temptation. You walk through this whole walk and you got tempted once.
Right.
No. You're going to get many of them. When one done, you're going to get another one. You may get multiple at the same time. That's why one of the synonyms says multiple. Multiple. But read that scripture again. How should we look at it when we get the multiple? When we get the assorted pack of temptations?
This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations.
Count it all joy. And this is what we need to start doing, because we're going to go through things. It's just what it is. We read the scriptures. We see all of our forefathers and foremothers went through diverse temptations. Some of them had one, and we'll read about their one temptation. Some of them had multiple temptations at the same time. Watch this. Let's go to Sirach 11 and 14 real quick. The book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 14.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord.
I don't know if y'all just saw that, but right there was just described all of the different types of temptations that we're going to go through. is going to be related to one of these areas. Read it again.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 14. Prosperity and adversity.
You have prosperity, which is one side of the coin, or you may have adversity, which is the other side of that same coin. Come on.
Life and death.
You may have life in abundance, or you may end up in death. Read.
Poverty and riches.
You may have poverty, or you may end up with riches. But remember, it's an assorted pack. So you may have riches, but you got adversity. You're like, oh, I was good here, but I'm bad there. Or you might have riches and no adversity in your life. Your wife not giving you problems, your children not giving you problems, but you're unhealthy. And either way it go, you're going to get one of these things. Let's watch this. Why is it that way? Let's go to Sirach 33 and 14. Why is it that way? It's on purpose.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 14.
Come on.
Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another.
It's one against another. It's going to be one way or another. They always going to be at odds, and you're always going to have either adversity or prosperity. You may have life or death. You may have poverty or riches. It's set up that way. This is the way the Most High does things, is to make sure that it's always going to be something battling against the other. There's two sides to that coin. But how do we deal with it? We're supposed to be able to get that adversity and step back and say, you know what? All praises to the Most High. But that's, like I said, that's difficult. We have to learn to do that. That's a learned behavior. You don't wake up one day and you're just able to say, you know what? All praises for my adversities and my trials, my tribulations.
Right.
No. That's learned behavior. How do we learn it? Through the scriptures. So now let's get some more scriptures. So I want to take a look at some of our forefathers, right? Like you look at Abraham, right? He had a very long life, did he not? Lived long. He had good health. But did he have any adversity? He was rich. So we know that he didn't get the poverty. He was rich. He had a long life. You don't read about Abraham being sick. You don't read about him going through any ailments. You don't read that. But what do you read? He had some adversity. Why? He had a son with Hagar, his firstborn son, and he had to drive that son away. And that's when you saw him get hit with some adversity. He got it. Who else we got? His son. We got Isaac. Isaac had money. He had good health. Did he not? He lived long, right? Good life. He had some adversity. He didn't have bad health either, even though I know we read that he went blind, but that was in his older years. So what was his adversity? His son, his oldest son, wanted to kill his youngest son and was going to do it. He had to send him away. Now he has to worry about that. He had ran into some adversity. It was almost a smooth run. What else? Jacob. Jacob had a lot of money. He had good health. You don't read about Jacob being in poor health. When did he get some adversity? Looked up. His sons told him that his other son was dead. Now he has adversity. He got some more adversity. His daughter goes out and she gets raped. Adversity. Adversity. That's what happens. But let's look at David. David, he had good health. You don't read about David being in bad health until his deathbed. He was rich. What happened? His son tried to kill him to take his kingdom. His son tried to set him up and kill him. And then not only that, took his concubines and laid with him on top to everybody to see. He got some adversity. And he was in constant war and battle. Adversity. But again, now let's look at somebody else. Let's look at somebody that got all three. Let's go to the book of Job. Job got everything. Job had a touch of everything, and he got it all at the same time. Let's get Job. 1 and 1.
This is the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil.
So we know that Job was perfect and upright in the eyes of God. He was in the eyes of God. He's perfect and upright. He's a just man. But he's going to run into some adversity. When we know about the adversity, but let's read on. Let's go down. Let's drop down to verse 13. Let's start to look at some of the adversity that he ran into.
This is the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 13. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabeans fell upon them, and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
So he started to lose what first? His money. And if you read on down, you're going to see that everything he had, he lost. All his money, all his riches, everything was gone all in one day. Esau got something, he lose a little money, he jump out the window. He lost everything in one day. One day. Drop down to verse 18. Watch this.
This is the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 18. While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the four corners of the house, and it fell upon the young man, and they were dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
Now, after he's lost all his money, he lost every one of his children, all in the same day. Same day. Let's get some more. Let's go to Job chapter 2, and I want to read from verse 1.
This is the book of Job, chapter 2 and verse 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause.
Come on.
And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life.
So Satan said, you know what? Let me try one more thing against this brother. I tried to come at his pockets. That didn't get him. I took his children away. He got adversity in his household now. That didn't get him. He's like, no. I know how to get him. Let me hit his body. Let me mess with his health. He's like, a man will give up everything he has for good health. Just like when you're sick and you sitting there and the mosquito bite done got you. And you just, you wanted to give it all up just to go back to the time before you got bit by that mosquito. Yep. But this is Satan's argument. So let's read. Let's see what happens.
Verse 5, but put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord.
Wait a minute. The Most High told him, listen, I'll even let you do that. The only thing I won't let you do is to actually take his life. I'll let you afflict his body. I'll let you put him through whatever affliction you can dream up, except for taking his life. So that means he tried to think of the worst thing he can do to him, to where you won't die, but you suffer. He like, how can I make him suffer and live? I know. I'm going to hit him with boils from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. That means if you got any other kind of ailment, oh, your back is bad, you can lay down on maybe a flat surface and kind of ease the pain a little bit. Your feet hurt, you can put them up and maybe they don't hurt. It's no escape when all across your body, from the front to the back, from the top to the bottom, you got something there that's afflicting you and poking at you. See, now I want him to suffer. Okay, read on. Let's see what happens to him after that. Let's see.
Job chapter 2 and verse 7. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes.
Gotta imagine, when he's sitting down, that hurts too. He's getting no relief. Come on.
Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die.
Wait a minute. After everything he had taken away, lost his money, lost his children, health in the toilet, the last thing you think you got is, well, I got me a good woman by my side that's going to still ride with me. And she told him, curse God and drop dead. Damn. In the midst of this, curse God and drop dead. I mean, she said, how did she word it? Curse God and die. I'm giving it a more modern terminology.
Right.
She basically told him to drop dead. This was your last hope of getting some kind of assistance and help and comfort. Whew. But let's read this. Let's go to Matthew 10:34, because it's already been prophesied why this happens, what we're up against. Because when you notice, I read the adversities. All of the adversities came where? Matthew 10:34. Where was that adversity coming from? Let's see.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
It's letting you know where the main opposition that you're going to face is going to come from. It's going to come from your bed. It's going to come from the child that came out of your loins. The woman, the child that came out of your womb, that's the one that's going to trouble you. That's where the main trouble you're going to get is going to come from. When we read, it was different ways, but most of the adversity our forefathers and foremothers got was through their families. Some being told to drop dead. Some just being the way I had to deal with them. There's different ways. Some for the adversity they had against one another caused adversity to them, the parent. But it's going to be different ways, but it's usually going to come from one of those areas. So what do we do? So you might say, I don't see no honor in that. Where's the honor part? How is this honorable? Let's find out. Let's see how it's honorable. 1 Corinthians 10:13. This is what makes it honorable. This is what makes it bearable when you understand this. Come on.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape.
He gives you a way to escape whatever that temptation may be. But watch this. The part that we really want to focus on is that he's faithful. Who is he faithful to? To those that are faithful to him. So guess what? When you being deemed as upright and you being tried, this is one of the ways that you're being tried. It's being tried because you are faithful. You are honorable. And he's saying, you know what? This person is worthy to be tried in this way. But there's also another side to that. Let's go to Sirach 2:1, because I want to deal with that way to escape. Sirach 2:1.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, If thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure.
So we have to constantly endure. But the thing that's going to happen is when we come into this truth, we have to prepare our soul for temptation. It's going to happen. We're going to get it. And if you're not getting it, you might need to check your genealogy. But I'm going to leave it off on that note. And this has been 15 minutes with the captains. And with that, we say shalom.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.